so much. Yo, it's your boy D's Media. Welcome back with another live. Wait on some people to join in. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Wait on a couple more people to join. Yeah, we're waiting on some more people to join real quick. But for the people that's tapping in, good morning. Yo, what up, Hampton? Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Just gonna wait a few more seconds and then I'm gonna start. Yo, OG, what up? But yeah, man, today we got some sad news coming out of Springfield, Illinois. A 36-year-old woman, Sonya Massey, unfortunately, tragically lost her life. I believe this was about 3-4 days ago, at the hands of Officer Grayson. Hold on, y'all, real quick. Let me get something right real quick. Hold on, y'all, real quick. Give me 1 second, y'all. But yeah, for the people that's just tapping in, like I said, this issue and this topic right now is going real viral. It's going real viral right now. But you know, this dude, man, you know, he didn't exercise the right training. This is even what his police, the police commissioner said that he didn't exercise the right rights and the right training. Because if you pay attention to the video, and I got to agree with the police chief on this, dude had plenty of time to step back, you know, to draw a taser or to anything. If anybody go watch that video, you know, you can hear clear him saying some vulgar stuff to that lady, man. That, honestly, man, I feel like as a officer of the law, you shouldn't use that type of language. You know, you shouldn't talk to anybody like that. But it's your boy D's Media, waiting on some more people to join. But yeah, Springfield officer Grayson was just fired and charged for the unfortunate life of Sonya Massey. Oh yeah, OG, I told you, man, we doing better. See the green screen? But yeah, man, you know, this about to be one of them George Floyd type situations. I don't think people really realizing, but this is about to be a big situation, you know. I don't think that this situation is about to just die down. I don't feel like people gonna let it go. I feel like, you know, this is about to be a touchy situation. I feel like it's sad that unfortunately somebody got to lose their life for us to come together and want to stick together as people, you know. But that's what this situation looked like. You got Meek Mill comment on it, Beyonce's sister Solandra comment on it. So you got multiple people that's commenting on this situation. Hold on, y'all. But y'all let me know, man, how y'all feel about the situation, you know? I feel like from the report it said that, you know, she was calling, somebody called because they said that they seen a prowler. And pretty much, you know, when they entered her house, you know, she did, I'm not gonna say made a gesture, but she was standing by the pot. But I don't feel like I don't feel like I feel like they could have used other tactics and other measures to take that woman down. Whether they felt like she was about to throw that hot water on him or not, I feel like, you know, he could have stepped back, gave himself some separation between him and Sonya, and he could have hit her with a taser, you know? He didn't have to use an actual live round. I just feel like, you know, some of these police officers, I just feel like, you know, they just don't use the best judgment and the best trained tactics, you know? Yo, Mojo, what up? What up, Mojo? But yeah, I just felt like, you know, he didn't use the right training and the right tactics on that. And it's clear as day, you know, because they fired him. You know, they fired him right on the spot and he was charged. You know, but one advice that I am going to give to people when you're dealing with law enforcement, whether it's a traffic stop or, you know, them coming to your house or whatever the case may be, man, you can't make no sudden movement. You can't argue with them. You can't be erotic, none of that, because you got some police officers out here to where, you know, they'll in 1 second, man, you know, take your life away from you. But all police officers not bad, and I'm not gonna sit here and say that because I done had some runs in with some good ones, and I done had some runs in with some bad ones. But all cops ain't bad, you know. It's just unfortunately that a lot of the good cops is gonna get lost in the stuff that the bad ones do, you know. But this is another George Floyd situation. Eric Gardner, you know, I forgot the young lady. Her name was Brianna something, but it's like over and over we just keep seeing to where, you know, some law enforcement, man, they not using the right type of training. They not using the right type of tactics, you know. Just because you got live rounds, that don't mean that you always got to use them. You got pepper spray, you got taser, you got a lot of stuff before you can use an actual live round. Yo, what up, Mojo? Appreciate you for joining. But yeah, man, we talking about 36-year-old Sonya Massey that unfortunately tragically lost her life in Springfield, Illinois, due to the hands of Officer Sean Grayson. It's a live video going all over the internet of the actual incident. Of course, y'all know for censor purposes, we're not gonna play it, but if anybody that's been up to date with the news, man, this is a trending situation, man. We about to have another George Floyd situation. You know, I just hope it don't turn into riots and people walking down the streets with 85-inch TVs. But this is one of them situations to where people stand up and riot for it. Give me that say he was a hothead cop from his prior service. Yeah, they said that this was his 6th police job in the state of Illinois. They say he done had 6 different police jobs. Y'all heard what that man said. That man threatened that lady and said, I'll, I'll in the face. Like, y'all can read between the lines. That man said, I'll in the face. Like, I was like, dang, like, what type of police officer tell a person like that, even if they is acting erotic or you thought maybe, your life was in danger? Like, who talks to somebody like that? Who tells somebody, oh yeah, I'm in the face? Like, what type of stuff is that? I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like I say, that cop showed poor judgment. Like I say, if that's what they teaching them police officers in police academy, it's gonna be a lot of more incidents like this. If that's what you being taught in the police academy with Officer Grayson displayed, it's gonna be a lot more incidents like this. It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot more instances like this. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a lot more instances like this. I'm telling you. If that's the trained profession that they have as being law officers of the law, that's the type of training that they have. That when something go wrong, they'll tell you that, oh, out in the face. Like, wow, if that's what they teaching y'all at the police academy, man, it's gonna be a lot more incidents like this. Oh, you already know that East End made. Appreciate you so much. But yeah, man, I just honestly feel like, man, I feel like cops get a bad rap because of one officer like Mr. Grayson. I feel like all the cops get a bad rep, and all cops ain't bad, but all cops ain't good neither. I'm not gonna sit here and defend them, but I didn't have my run in, got pulled over by some respectful cops. I didn't have my runs in and got pulled over by some disrespectful cops. But I can never sit there and say that all law enforcement is bad and all law enforcement display actions like Mr. Grayson. That's not true. So I get it that us as an African American community or the family is upset, but you got to remember, one Apple, the one that did that. But just because one person displayed ignorance and no type of no type of display of being an officer of the law, that don't mean that they give us the right to go loot stuff, to go burn stuff down, to go take big screen TVs, none of that. I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of times when incidents like this happen and we come together as a people and as a whole, it always turns out to be looting and taking from stores. That shouldn't be what this situation turned into, because that's what the George Floyd situation turned into and all of that. When a person lose their life and we come together to help mourn that family or to come together as a race or gender, it's not for us to go into stores and take TVs and stuff like that. It's not an opportunity to run in the store and get something free. That's the one thing I don't respect about, when we have incidents like this in George Floyd. I feel like it start off about the person and then it go to getting free things, and I don't respect that. I get it. A lot of people is upset, but nothing good comes from tearing down your community. I was born and raised in Detroit, and we had a riot from back in the 50s and 60s, and they burned down billions of buildings and homes in Detroit. 30, 40 years later, them buildings still ain't built up. So, like, you can tear your own community down if you want to, but there's nothing good gonna come out of it. But like I say, man, my prayers go out to Springfield, Illinois. My prayers go out to, Miss Massey family. Like I say, man, Officer Sean Grayson, he did not, and everybody could tell from that video, that man did not use the best type of training. Like I say, he could have separated himself from that lady and hit her with a taser. He could have pepper sprayed her. It's a lot of things that, he could have did, He could have walked out of the house and called for backup, It's a lot of things that he could have did before taking the actions that he took. And that's why he got fired. You know, his own boss came out and said on record that that's not what we teach you in the police academy. You know, he could have used other forms of measure. And I believe his chief on that. I feel like he could have used different forms of measure. Oh yeah, you right about that. Somebody else. Yeah, he been doing that. He just finally got caught. They say, dude, this is six police job. How you been at six different departments? Ain't like you going up. You going from patrol to detective to like he wasn't going up. He just, you know, I guess it wasn't working out wherever he was going at. But like I say, man, it's sad that, you know, we got police officers out here that, you know, that in a split second, you know, they can take somebody's life, and the only thing that'll happen to them is they'll lose their job, get suspended without pay. Some instances they might get charged, but later on down the line, who's to say this dude might beat this case? Later on, years down the line, let's just say this dude beat this case. The same thing with Trayvon Martin. Yeah, they charged him, but what happened later on down the line? He beat it. So this dude can still beat this case later on down the line. So it's like, just by y'all firing him and charging him, that's not going to change the fact that a 36-year-old woman lost her life. It's not going to change the fact that Springfield, Illinois is pretty much is about to go up in shambles, you know? You right about that, Alberto? I feel like it was a lot of different measures that he could have did. You know, I feel like it was a lot of different measures that he could have did. Yeah, but it's a lot of different measures I felt like he could have did. I felt like it was a lot. I felt like he could have stepped back. He could have stepped back and sprayed the pepper spray. You know how far pepper spray reach? You know how far a taser reach? He could have stepped back close by the door and hit her with a taser. But a lot of these police officers, they just anxious. You know, they just so much ready to use they weapon. They just so much ready. They so ready to use their weapons. They so ready. You know, I honestly feel like he could have stepped back, put some space in between them, and he could have hit her with a taser. Or he could have pepper sprayed her. I done seen police cam videos where they taser people that's 2-3 feet away from them. You get what I'm saying? That taser reach. You know, he could have stepped back, you know, hit her with a taser. You know? It's a lot of different ways he could have handled that situation. If he felt like his life was at risk or his partner's life was at risk, he could have also walked out of the house and left and called for backup. You know, I get it, but who was she gonna harm? She in there by herself. You know what I'm saying? There's no kids or nobody else around. She's in there by herself. So it's like, if I feel like you got a thing of hot water and I feel like I'm at risk, you know, if I don't got enough distance to hit you or a clean shot to hit you with a taser or a pepper spray you, I'm going and call for backup. Listen here, I ain't getting hit with no hot water. I ain't got time for this. I'm just saying, you know, that Officer Sean Grayson, man, he like I say, man, he displayed poor training, poor tactics, and just poor sense of awareness about what's going on. Y'all like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Hey, Hampton, join the membership, become a mod. You good. But yeah, that's why I had it moved up some. But yeah, I feel like, you know, Officer Sean Grayson, man, you know, he got everything that he deserved, you know. He deserved to get fired and he deserved to get charged for that, man, because there's no way that there's two males and it's just a woman and that none of y'all thought to reach for a taser, pepper spray, none of that. Call for backup, none of that. Y'all call for backup after Y'all did after old boy did what he did. Y'all didn't call for backup and say, hey, you know, this lady is going near this hot water. They didn't say nothing on the radio. They didn't say, hey, she's making a move for the hot water. We feel like our life is at risk. When they got on the radio was after Officer Sean Grayson did what he did. She was already, you know, the actions was already done when they jumped on the radio and said, oh, such and such fire. Bro, you could have hopped on the radio at any given time and said, yo, this lady she's going towards the hot water pot. I feel like, you know, we're at risk. I'm about to hit her with a taser. It's a lot of different tactics that man could have used other than the way that he used it. But that's what happens with some of these officers. Like I say, they trigger happy, you know. They just so ready to use their weapon that a lot of times it's not about de-escalating the situation. A lot of these police officers, you know, it's about them getting a chance to use their weapon, you know. They've been practicing all week at the range, and now it's their time to use it. That's how I be feeling in certain cases. I feel like in certain instances, man, the people is almost target practice. And law enforcement is supposed to hold a certain type of ethic and be on this type of pedestal, but we keep seeing and displaying that a lot of these officers, let alone need a firearm, they don't even need to be patrolling nothing. How you for the people when you patrolling something, but at times you don't display the right and proper training. See, a lot of people want to become police officers because they was bullied in school, they was picked on. You know, a lot of people feel like the chicks like, I guess, men that's officers. So a lot of the people that's police officer was people that was lames in school. Let's be honest with you. You know, some police officers probably wouldn't, but a lot of police officers, man, they wouldn't the most popular kids growing up in the neighborhood. You could tell. I done ran across some police officers to where it's just like, bro, they want to show you so bad that they got power and authority that it just be like, bro, you got it, bro. Like, bro, whatever it is, bro, you got it. Like, and they'll tell you, like, you know when you run across that one officer to where he's trying to dominate and assert and show you that he got the power. It may be, oh man, he could have let you go, but this time he about to tow your car, or he could have gave you a warning. But you got some officers out there to where they want to flex and show you their authority because this their first time in life ever having power over somebody. You know, that's why I say, man, they got to start doing real background checks and real mental evaluations before you just give a civilian a badge and tell him you in charge of all of these civilians in a code of ethic. Like, I feel like they should start doing mental evaluation before you give people a badge. You don't know if this man didn't have a mental illness his whole life. You don't know if this guy was bullied as a kid. You don't know if this guy got a problem with certain genres or ethics, or you never know. Then you gotta watch who you just give a badge. So you can't just you passed police academy. Okay, you could jump a wall. You could control a K9. Okay, you know how to work a handcuff. That don't mean that you should be a police officer. They need to start doing mental. I'm being honest with you. All these states, they need to start doing mental evaluations on police officers, man, before you give them a badge, man. Y'all need to really see what type of person that y'all is just putting in charge. Because a lot of these dudes don't even need to be mall security, let alone an officer of the law. Like I say, man, I just felt like it was different type of measures that Officer Sean Grayson could have used than the tactic that he used. You know, I felt like I'm gonna say again, he could have separated himself and he could have hit that lady with a taser, pepper spray, any of that. Like, he didn't have to take it to that extent, you know. But like I say, man, you got some officers, man, to where, you know, they unfortunately, man, you know, unfortunately, man, you know, they They trigger happy, you know. That's the bad part about it, man. We live in a generation, man, to where a lot of these police officers, man, they was getting bullied as kids. They was lames. They was bullied in school. They was lames. They got picked on. They ain't get a girl till they got a badge. None of that. And that's who we putting in charge of a civilian life and making sure that civilians is good. Come on, man. We got to start doing, I'm going to say it again. We got to start doing mental evaluations on police officers before we give them a badge, man. We got to stop just giving a regular civilian that we don't know what trauma or what pain he done went through in his life, and we just put him in charge of protecting civilians. Like, because as we can see, man, certain officers is displaying that they don't deserve a badge. You right about that, Ordinary. They need more funding for better training. They need better training, man. And I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, man. And I done seen in certain instances, because we live in a social media world, I done seen certain instances to where police make me proud when they catch certain people. You know, you ever seen that one case where that one dude then did so much crazy stuff, and when the police finally catch him, you be like, yeah, they should have got him. So it's times that law enforcement does do their job. But over the last 5-6 years since social media came into play, we just starting to see, man, to where a lot of police officers ain't exercising the right type of stuff. They just not. Hey, bro, you gonna let her up? She gonna keep crying while you in here. No. Hey, bro, you might just let her out.
I'm going outside.
Hold on, y'all, real quick.
That's fine.
But yeah, I just feel like, Officer Sean Grayson, man, he didn't display the right training, man. He didn't display the right training. And you're right, man. I feel like, they do need better funding, man, for better training. I honestly feel like you're right on that. They do need better funding, man. They do need better funding, man, for more training. Because you can't just put no badge in somebody's hand that ain't right mentally. You can't. You're going to keep seeing instances like this. And just because you got a badge, that don't mean that you above the law. That don't mean that you're not still a civilian or you're not a human being. Like, just because you got a badge in your hand, that don't give you no grant a photo pass to do whatever you want to do. That don't just because you got a badge. I'm talking about like poor training, because I'm gonna keep it real with you. They need, in cities and states, especially the major states, they need law enforcement help so bad, correctional officers so bad, that they just hiring at a rate that you just never seen. I can't tell you how many times I done rolled past and I seen signing bonus for $5,000 if you become and join a police academy. So it's like, they need law enforcement and correctional officers so bad that it's like they hiring at a rate that's just like, because a lot of people don't want them jobs. Just be honest with you. A lot of people don't want to be no correctional officer or be no police officer. That's why they paying nowadays. They just hiring people. They just hiring you and giving you a card. Because they need law enforcement help so bad in a lot of these cities and states. A lot of these cities and states is getting, the law enforcement, they like, man, this job ain't worth it. Imagine the police that's in Chicago, Detroit, Memphis, Atlanta, Cleveland, like a lot of these rough cities. A lot of officers are like, man, you crazy. This ain't even worth it. That's why I say, man, they, at the rate that they hiring, man, they just giving any and everybody a job. And as we can see, unfortunately, everybody does not hold the ability and the qualification and the responsibility that it takes to be an officer. You know, is more than just you get a free car and a free strap and you know you get to go through red lights. Is being a police officer is more than that. Jacksonville, you're right. Jacksonville too. You know, but it's a lot that come with being a police officer, man. A lot. And I feel like a lot of people nowadays, they want to be a police officer too. And like I say, until it comes time for you to use your better judgment, a lot of cops don't use it. A lot of cops, I don't understand how they don't understand the fact that you got a real weapon, you got a taser and pepper spray. So how is it that before they use the taser and the pepper spray, they go straight for the live rounds? I don't get that part. In a lot of instances, you can hit people with tasers or pepper spray and it'll knock them down. Then you got some people to where that don't work. You know, we done seen certain videos where people that got hit with 3-4 different tasers. But that's how I feel. They could have hit her with a taser or pepper sprayed her. Worst kind of worse, she'd have dropped the hot water on herself. But the way that they did it, man, that was bold. Before you talk to the felon and when you fill out the application on Border Patrol with 2 weeks and your response back. Oh yeah, but like I say, man, you know they need law enforcement help so bad, man. Like whether it's in a lot of these cities and states, correctional officers, Border Patrol, they need officers bad. You know they hire any and everybody. How you hire a cop that's been to 6 different, that has 6 different jobs in the last years? How do you hire somebody to your police force that they've been transferred and been fired from 6 different other police jobs? Why wouldn't you sit back and do a mental evaluation or sit back and do a serious background check? They say the officer that did this in the last years, he'd have had 6 different jobs. So it's obviously a pattern of behavior that he's displaying, that he done had 6 police jobs leading up to this job. Like I know, like I'm pretty sure that's unheard of to transfer to 6 different police departments. Like dude probably really has something really going on with him. But instead of people trying to figure it out, they just transferring them, putting them on another person's responsibility. There's no way this dude done been fired from 6 jobs or transferred from 6 different jobs in the last years and he still got a police job. You know, every time I done filled out an application, that's the first thing they ask you. Well, you know, why you only worked at this job for 2 to 3 years? Why you only worked at this job for such and such long? Like, they didn't nobody think that was suspicious? Did nobody think that was a red flag? Come on. Dude been at 6, he done had 6 different jobs. Like what more do you need to read off a person's resume to show you that it's a problem with him? If he'd have been fired or transferred from 6 different jobs, that either mean that he was doing something wrong or somebody said, man, we put him off on somebody else. Either way it go, Officer Sean Grayson, they had 6 jobs in the last, I forgot how many years they said. Come on, man. A lot of people ain't qualified to be police officers. A lot of people ain't qualified to be police officers. A lot of people ain't qualified. Oh, yeah, you already know that, Alan. You already know that, Alan. But yeah, man, but for all the people that just tapping in, welcome to the channel. We talk about Sonya Massey, 36-year-old woman out of Springfield, Illinois, that tragically lost her life at the hands of Officer Sean Grayson. Like I say, I'm pretty sure a lot of people have seen the video. Like I say, it's going viral all on the internet. Like I say, for violence purposes, you know, I'm not going to play it. But like I say, the officer Sean Grayson has been fired and charged. His police chief came out and said that he used poor choice of tactics. That's not what they trained him to do. Also, they said the language that he was using towards the lady before he did what he did was wrong and absurd. You know, he told the lady, if y'all go watch the video, he told the lady, I such and such you in the face. Everybody can read between the lines and know what he said. But he told her pretty much like, I such and such you in the face. Like, who tells a civilian that and you are an officer of the law? Like, there's there's a million different words and a million different phrases that he could have used other than telling that lady, I'm a such and such you in the face. Before he did anything, he told her that. She did say, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus and all of that. And she did have the pot, but it looked like she put it down. I'm gonna be honest with you. It looked like she did put it down. But the officer's the one that told her to go over to the pot. They told her, they said, yeah, ma'am, do you mind going over there and turning off the pot? We don't want to fire or anything. So they asked her to turn off the pot. It wasn't like she just went over there and turned off the pot. They asked her, you know. But Mr. Officer Grayson, man, that lets you know, man, he just was too eager, man, to do something else. Like, that lets you know, man, his whole plan and motive was something else. He had a whole different plan and motive. It wasn't about de-escalating the situation or anything like that, because if it was a situation that he wanted to de-escalate the situation, is he had a taser on him and he had pepper spray. So like I say, there's plenty other ways that he could have went. He could have also stepped out of the house if he felt like it was a danger. You know, he didn't have to stay there, you know. You just the first responder. You could call for backup or however. But that's what happens when you just give a job to any and everybody. You know, this dude, this is 6 jobs, and they say in years. So he done been to 5, 6 different police departments, 5, 6 different police force, and nobody think to check this dude for a mental evaluation or anything. Y'all just hire him straight on the force, and you'd have been to 5 different police force. There's no way. There's no way. That's not a red flag. There's no way that's not a red flag. Nobody caught on to that. That's clear as day. That's a red flag. Y'all like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the membership. That's clear as day that was, you know, that was a poor choice of judgment. What y'all think? Everybody that's in here, what y'all think? Y'all think that Officer Sean Grayson showed a poor choice of judgment as far as his decision that he made? Y'all let me know in the comment section. I think it was a poor choice of judgment, you know. Me, to be honest with you, I felt like it was. I felt like it was 10, 20 different other ways that he could approach that situation than doing what he did, you know. I'm just going to be honest with you, you know. He could have walked out of there, called for a different officer. He could have hit her with a taser. He could have pepper sprayed her, you know. It's a lot of other ways that he could have did other than that. It's 2 male officers in there at the end of the day. It's 2 male officers in there at the end of the day. So I feel like, you know, it's so many different ways that he could approach that situation, man. I'm just being honest with you. It's so many ways that I feel like he could approach that situation that was different, you know. I just feel like that. It says he was charged with DWI twice. You feel me? You feel me, D-So? I just don't see it. It's 2 males and 1 lady, and y'all got two cans of pepper spray and 2 tasers, besides the live rounds that y'all got. The 2 officers on the scene had 2 cans of pepper spray and 2 tasers. And y'all telling me that 2 cans of pepper spray and 2 tasers couldn't take that lady down? Come on, man. Poor choice of judgment. Same thing like the police. Same thing like his chief of police said. Poor choice of judgment. Poor choice. Poor choice of judgment. Poor choice. You know, I just feel like it was just so much other things that he could have used, you know. It's 2 officers on the scene, and y'all want me to believe that 2 tasers and 2 cans of pepper spray can't take down a 36-year-old lady? I'm not believing that. I'm just not believing it. That's why I say, man, a lot of these, I feel like they need to start doing better training and they need to start doing mental evaluations on these officers before they give them a badge and a weapon. Before you put somebody in charge of civilian lives and get them a pledge that to hold an oath all the way up here, I feel like we need to really start doing mental evaluations for real on these police officers. Some of these dudes was getting bullied in school. Some of these dudes was doing the bullying. You know, some of these come from rough households. You know, some of these officers is crooked. But then you also got some excellent police out here. Like I said in the beginning of this video, you know, it's bad in certain aspects that all cops get blamed for one bad cop, because I done had good experience in my life with law enforcement. I done also had bad experience. You know what I'm saying? I done ran across some great, excellent cops that done let me go when I done been in the wrong, gave me a warning, and then I done had some cops that done took it the extra mile. But I can't sit here and say that all law enforcement is bad. I can't. I don't mess with them, you know, but I can't sit here and say that they all bad, because you got some excellent cops out there. And then you got the ones that ruin it, you know. You got the cops that display poor training, poor judgment, and they react off emotion, or they react off how they feel at the moment, and you see in the long run, it's poor judgment. They use excessive force and poor judgment with Eric Gardner, George Floyd, you know, I think it was Breonna Taylor, the same thing, but now you seeing the same thing here, you know. And this is what, the last 5 years, we've seen 5, 6 publicly major cases to where, you know, law enforcement, man, they're not doing their job right. They're not doing their job right, you know. It is what it is. They're not doing their job right. And then they think years down the line that you can get somebody $5 million, $6 million, and that's going to help. Okay, you gave them some money. That's not going to bring their loved one back. That's not going to bring their daughter back, their son back, their nephew, their grandson. You know, a lot of times, you know, when incidents happen like this, a family is rewarded money. Like, money, is you serious? Yeah, I get it. Money can change a lot of things, but money's not going to bring your relative back, your loved one back. You know, every time you think of that person, you know, that money's not going to fix that. Yeah, it's going to have you living good, you know, but it's not going to bring your loved one back. So a lot of times, money's not going to always change the fact. They can give you $20 million, $30 million. Look, they rewarded Breonna Taylor family money. That's not going to bring Breonna back. So money is not always the solution, but a lot of times that's how they feel so bad that they feel like, man, let's just try to give them some money, see if that helps. But a lot of times, man, they know when they pay them judgment, they know that a lot when they pay them judgments that they paying that judgment because they feel bad for the situation, and you know, and they think money gonna make it better. That's what a lot of people think. Money gonna make stuff better. Nah, yeah. It'll pay the bills, but money ain't gonna bring people back. You can give Sonya Massey's family 10, 20, 30, 40 million dollars. You know, on her birthday, they still gonna miss her. On Christmas, they still gonna miss her macaroni. You know, on certain holidays, they gonna miss her. They gonna miss her calling. They gonna miss her. You know, money can't bring her back. Money can't create new memories with her. It can't. Come on, man. This is probably the first time that I could say when a situation happened, they reacted fast, and I feel like it was the right call that they made. To fire him and to charge him, I feel like was the right call, other than certain cases to where they just suspend officers without pay or stuff like that. I feel like they made the right call here, you know, and I feel like they made the right call here. So it's like, it's no, I'm not going to say it's no point, but it's no reason to riot and to loot. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not getting away with it. You know, he's sitting behind bars right now. He's being charged. Like, so it's like, I feel like this the first case of a big high profile case to where they jumped on it quickly and made a fast, firm, and quick, smart decision. You get what I'm saying? I feel like they made a smart decision on firing him, you know, because usually they suspend him without pay. They fired him and charged him. So that was a good call. I got to honestly say they made a good call with that. Yeah. Yeah, you right about that, D. So, you know, they, like I say, man, this issue is going to be as high profile as the George Floyd, the Breonna Taylor, the Eric Gardner, all those cases that we've seen in the past. This is going to be the same thing. But ladies and gentlemen, I got to be honest with y'all, and I got to keep it 100 with y'all. We got to start approaching and dealing with law enforcement better. We got to stop being erotic and trying to argue with them. It's sad to think that you got to watch what you say or you do around law enforcement, but you do. When you get pulled over, you can't just make sudden moves and hurry up and reach for your insurance. You got to tell them, hey, I'm reaching for my insurance. I'm reaching for my license. Hey, you know, if they talking, you know, don't make sudden moves and be arguing and getting erotic with them, because as you can see, you might one day be dealing with that bad officer, you know, that unfortunately he gonna use poor choice of judgment. So as a whole, as a community, no matter race, color, gender, we got to start dealing with law enforcement a little bit more smarter and better. You get what I'm saying? Because we might run into that one officer that day that we tripping and he on one. You get what I'm saying? So we got to watch how we approach law enforcement, and we got to just be cautious of what we doing and when we saying around law enforcement, man, because it's sad, but it's the truth. You know, you got to really know how to approach law enforcement nowadays. You get pulled over, don't just reach for in your glove compartment and all. No, tell them, look, bro, I'm reaching for my insurance. You know what I'm saying? I'm reaching for my registration. Boom. You know, they talking to you. Keep your hands out your pocket. Keep your hands where they can see them. Yes, sir. Even if you don't want to say it, yes, sir, no, sir. Take your ticket, go on about your day. You know, don't turn it into something bigger than what it is, you know, because unfortunately, the only thing your family going to get for you feeling like you got disrespected or you want to stand up for the only thing your family going to get is we seeing is money. All that they getting is money. Like, your family not going to get nothing other than money for you, you know, doing what you're going to do to law enforcement. I just don't think it's smart, man. You know, you got to let them have it nowadays. We live in 2024 where you got to let law enforcement have it. Let them write you your ticket, cooperate with them. Hey, you going to arrest me, just arrest me. I ain't fighting. I'm not arguing with you. You ain't got to do all the call the 10 squad cars. Come on, man. If I got a warrant or whatever the issue is, come on, let's just get my hands is up. It is what it is, man. That's we live in 2024, man. We got to stop giving these officers reason. And it's sad because sometimes the reason that we give them is small. Oh, we just moved too quick. Oh, you got a pot of hot water in your hand, or oh, you getting accused of stealing from a store, or oh, they saying that you resisting arrest. So a lot of the times they just make up excuses or they find the smallest thing to assert extra force. But we got to do better. But for the people that's just tapping in, 36-year-old Sonya Massey, I believe 3-4 days ago, pretty much lost her life at the hands of Officer Sean Grayson. Pretty much he was charged and fired. So he did get charged with it, but pretty much they got a phone call about a prowler, and pretty much they went to the house, and upon them asking her for her ID and stuff, y'all can watch the video. They asked her if she'd go turn off the pot because they didn't want to fire because they felt like the pot on the stove was dangerous, which they is, right? And they instructed her to go turn the pot off, and from her turning the pot off, she kept the pot in her hand, and then from there it just went left. You know, the first thing that the officer said was, you know, after she said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, he said, you know, I'll such and such you in the face. I felt like that was wrong choice of words right there. Like, off the rip, you telling her you would do that to her in the face. Like, I just felt like that was poor choice of judgment. The police chief came out and spoke on it, and he said that he used poor choice of judgment. That's unfortunately why he lost his job and got fired. You know, he felt like, you know, that's not what they train an officer to do. And I gotta agree with the police chief on that. If that's what officers is being trained to do, it's gonna be a lot more cases like this. You know, if that's what a police officer is being trained to handle an incident or an issue, then I feel like it's gonna be a lot more situations than this. You know, but that's why I say, man, you know, maybe a lot of these police departments, they might need funding, man, for better training, man. You know. You right about that, D-So. Trigger happy. That's what it really boiled down to, you know. That's what it really boiled down to. Really just being trigger happy. Yeah, you right about that. That's really what it boils down to. You know, a lot of these police officers, they trigger happy, you know. They trigger happy. You know? And unfortunately, like I say, it's sad, but unfortunately that's true. You know? A lot of these police is trigger happy. You know? They is. My bad, y'all didn't turn it down in the headset. But yeah, a lot of these police officers, man, they trigger happy. They really is, man. You know? And I feel like at the end of the day, they have to train these officers better and start doing mental evaluations before you put a badge in a civilian hand and give him the type of power over civilian lives. I feel like we need to start doing, I'm going to say it again, we need to start doing mental evaluations, man, on law enforcement, man. We got to know who we putting in charge of and controlling human life. We gotta start knowing, you know, because a lot of these police officers was bullied as kids, was picked on, you know, they have rough life just as the persons that they chasing, you know. And a lot of times, you know, people fail to realize that just because you wear a badge, that don't mean that you ain't been through stuff, that don't mean that you're not having a hard day or anything. You know, a lot of these police officers go through the same problems that we go through. They bills is due at the same time that ours is due. They cell phone bill, cable bill, light bill, gas bill, all of that is due at the same time. You know, but y'all like, comment, subscribe to the channel. But I just feel like, honestly, man, I feel like we as civilian, as what color, genre, or gender, whatever it is, man. Excuse me for my pronunciation. Gender, race, whatever it is, age or whatever, man. We gotta start approaching law enforcement better, man. We got to as a whole, man. And it's sad to say that we gotta be on our P's and Q's and watch what we do and say. But you gotta watch. You know, it's not safe, man, to reach for pots and it's not. And that's the crazy part about it. Like, they asked Sonya Massey to go over there and turn the pot off. And when she went over there and turned the pot off, they thought that she was about to throw it on them. You asked her to go over there and turn the pot off. She was sitting on the couch giving you her information out of her wallet. You could tell she was going for her ID, you know, driver's license or whatever. They asked her to go turn the pot off, and that's what she went and did. So after she go over there to do something that you instructed her to do, now that y'all feel in y'all minds that, or at least the one officer felt that she was about to throw the pot on him. Dude, you asked her to go over there. It wasn't like when y'all walked in her house, she just was over there and had the pot in her hand. Y'all asked her to go turn the pot off. You right about that, Pacquiao Carlos. You right about that. This man that had 6 jobs over the last, I forgot how many years they said. This is his 6th police job in the state of Illinois. So Officer Sean Grayson, that did what he did to the lady, had 6 different police jobs over the years. How long do it take for y'all to realize that It's a reason why he having 5-6 different jobs. It's a reason. It's no coincidence that they just letting go of a good cop. Like, come on, 5-6 different jobs, your whole police career. Like, that's crazy. 5-6 different jobs. That means you know you got a real problem. 5-6 different jobs. That's a lot of jobs. You know, a regular person that had that on their resume, you know, they'll make it seem like yo, you know, is there a reason why you didn't quit all these jobs, or you didn't got fired or left all these jobs? So why wouldn't you do the same thing for a police officer? Every time I done got a job, they always look at my resume. Can we use them as a reference? Can we? So y'all not using none of his previous jobs as reference or anything? That lets you know that law enforcement is under siege. They need help more than ever. They need border patrol help. They need correctional officers, and they need police officers. That's why they offer signing bonuses, all types of stuff. I worked at an apartment complex because I do maintenance. Worked at an apartment complex, and if you're a police officer, you get half off on your rent just if you do patrols at night. So it's like law enforcement, man, they just don't understand. Like, it's a big responsibility, man. It's a big responsibility, man. When I worked at because I do maintenance. When I worked at apartment complexes, they would tell police officers, man, we'll knock off this much off y'all rent if y'all do patrols and do this. Hey, be quiet. We'll knock off this off your rent. We'll knock off that. Like, you know, they don't really understand, man. It's a big responsibility, man. It's a big responsibility being a police officer. It's not just a free car, a strap. You know, you get to go through red lights. You know, you get to arrest people. You get to search people. You know, everybody think they're going to be, a lot of police officers think that they're going to be detectives and all of that. Come on, man. It's a lot that come with being law enforcement. The same way that it come with a lot with being a civilian nowadays, it's a lot that come with being law enforcement. And they got to start understanding that. If you don't want that, if you're not going to hold yourself up here and at times, even though you may feel like it's not the right call, y'all got to start making better calls. They had 2 tasers and 2 cans of pepper spray for a 36-year-old woman, and none of those was deployed. None of those was used or anything. 2 officers against 1 woman. They got 2 cans of pepper spray and 2 tasers, and none of those 2 options was used. First thing that Mr. Grayson used was a live round. Come on, man. That's poor training right there. Y'all got 2 cans of pepper spray and 2 tasers, and you use live rounds? Man, that 36-year-old woman, come on, man, that would have took her down. 2 tasers and 2 cans of pepper spray. Even y'all probably could have used 1. Come on, man. It's just a lot of these officers are trigger happy, man. A lot of these officers was bullied as kids. A lot of these officers, this the first time they in power, you know? You know, this the first time they look in the mirror and they think they cool, you know? A lot of police officers is like that. Not all of them, because not all law enforcement is bad. I'm going to say that again. Not all law enforcement is bad, but I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like a lot of law enforcement, man, that they got bullied as a kid, you know, mom wasn't there for them, you know, had a hard life and stuff like that. Those is a lot of the officers, you know, that's taking it out on us, you know. They taking it out on us. Hey, man, hey, we got a hard life too, you know. That's what people don't understand as a civilian. We got hard lives too. You know, a lot of people think that, oh, because we ain't a police officer, or we ain't a lawyer, we ain't a doctor, or we ain't a nurse, that we ain't got no purpose in life, and we ain't, come on. Just come on, you can have a 9-to-5 job. You just as important as law enforcement. Think about that. If people don't have jobs, how's this world gonna go? If you don't have a person that'll stand at work at McDonald's and restaurants, you ain't gonna have no restaurant. You don't have somebody like me that do maintenance and fix stuff gonna just stay broke. You don't have doctors and lawyers, people gonna more than likely not be alive and not be free. You know, so everybody have a role to play. So whether if you're a cashier or you a doctor or a lawyer, everybody plays a major part in this world. Just think about that. If everybody was rich and nobody was a worker, how would this world get taken care of? If there was no workers and everybody was rich, how would this world get taken care of? You need workers. You need people, the 9 to 5 people. Think about that. If everybody in the world was rich, who would work for who? Think about it. Would nobody be at restaurants? Would nobody be at banks? Would nobody be nowhere? So you got to understand, it don't matter if you're a law enforcement, if you're a cashier, if you do maintenance, if you're a lawyer, if you're a doctor, if you're an ambulance, everybody plays a big part in society, man. Everybody should be respected as a whole. Everybody plays a major part in society. Not just because you got a badge on that make you hired in life. No, because my job is just as important. If there's nobody to serve you food at a restaurant, how you gonna eat at a restaurant? Would you gonna get behind here and cook it yourself? Same way, if there's no law enforcement, how you gonna obtain some of these crazy people? Everybody play a major part, man, in life. Y'all subscribe to the channel. Like I say, you know, and another thing that's kind of funny too is that I'm looking at the numbers right now, and these numbers is nowhere near the numbers that I usually do, but that's because we talking about something positive. You know, when you talk about something positive, a lady like Sonya Massey just lost her life, people don't tap in and want to hear that. But if I was talking about Asa Fulio, like I've been doing the previous days or something, this live would be 300-400 people in here right now. That's what's wrong with society. That's what's wrong with society. But it's nobody want to hear the truth, you know. Nobody want to talk about the real issues that's going on in the world. Everybody want to talk about the made-up stuff. Everybody want to talk about Fulio and Ace and OTF and YB, but nobody want to talk about when a 36-year-old lady lose her life at the hands of law enforcement. Nobody want to hear that. But we'll talk about Ace and Fulio for the last 2 weeks, and 500-600 people are tapped in here to hear me talk about them. But a 36-year-old woman lost her life, and only 50 people in here, but that's okay. I send my condolences out to Breonna Taylor. I send my condolences out to Eric Gardner. I send my condolences out to Sonya Massey. Anybody that unfortunately lost their hands to the hands of law enforcement, I send my condolences out to your family. You know? But yeah, Spitfire Sean, that's just funny. I was talking about Fulio yesterday, and I had 700 people on live hearing me talk about Fulio and Ace situation. But it's only 60 people on here to talk about a woman that was instructed to turn a pot of hot water off the stove, unfortunately lost her life. She was sitting down on the couch, getting her wallet to get him her ID or her driver's license, however, and they asked her to go turn off the pot off the stove, and she unfortunately lost her life. But don't nobody want to talk about that. But let me be on here talking about Ace and Fulio and some of this nonsense that's going on. Everybody love to talk about that. Let's talk about how we need to start getting these officers the proper training that they need. Let's talk about getting these officers mental evaluations and see what's really going on with a lot of these officers that's doing these things. Like, and it's not all of them, but a lot of good cops is gonna catch the flack for bad cops. These call us no problem nowadays because yeah, you right about that, Spitfire. Yeah, her name is Sonya Massey. From Springfield, Illinois. Send my condolences out to her family. Right now, this is a major case. Meek Mill spoke out on it. Beyonce's sister, I don't think her name's Solandra. I think that's her name. Forgive me if I said it wrong, but a lot of celebrities are speaking out and talking on it, you know. A lot of people is, you know. That's why I say this is gonna be one of them Breonna Taylor situations, Eric Gardner, George Floyd. This is gonna be a big situation, man. I'm trying to tell y'all. It's the training too, bro. They aren't trained to. You right about that, Travis. You right about that.
You right about that. You right about that, Carly. That's another thing that I stated earlier in this live. This guy, since he's been working for law enforcement, since he's been in the state of Illinois, he done had 6 different jobs. How is it that this man done worked for 6 different police force since his time serving law enforcement? Don't nobody think that that's a red flag? Don't nobody think that that's a little suspicious? Anytime I ever went and got a job, the first thing that they say is, "Oh, is there a reason why you left your old job? Can we use them as a reference?" You know, like I'm gonna be honest with you. Every job I've put on my resume, they have contacted them. They have asked me why I resigned. Everything. So how would law enforcement do the same thing? How is this guy that has 6 different jobs or 6 different titles in the police departments, and nobody thought that that was a red flag to get this guy a mental evaluation or to take his badge from him? Now, here it is, you took his badge, but now it's to the point that he did the most ultimate. It's too late to take his badge. Like, you should have been took his badge. You feel me? You feel me, Carly? How is he still in law enforcement? Trick said cops need more training than the system. You right about that, Tricks. They definitely need way better training. They need way better training. Any mods that's on here, any mods that's on here, I appreciate y'all for tapping in. So any mods that's on here, y'all just drop y'all name in the comment section. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. I ain't give y'all a shout out yet. I think I seen the Shay on here, and I think I seen OG on here. But for the mods that's on here, I give y'all a shout out. My bad. I just was talking about this situation. I forgot to give y'all a shout out. I appreciate everybody for joining the live. I appreciate y'all so much. But like I said, the thing that's funny to me is that I could sit here all day and talk about Fulio, OTF, Lil Dirt, and it'll be 300-400 people on here. But the moment you start talking about what's really going on in the world and really stuff that really need to be changed and what's really going on and what could really save my kids and your kids' life, don't nobody want to tap in and want to hear that. You know, don't nobody want to tap in and want to hear that. If I told y'all right now that, oh, such and such got hit up and this, woo, y'all will be tapped in. Oh, if I said, yo, Ace just got hit with a Fed RICO indictment, it'd be about 500-600 people on here. But when you want to talk about how to really change this world and how to really, you know, help law enforcement start making better decisions, because obviously clear as day, they making the poor choice in decisions. Nobody want to talk about that. Nobody want to talk about that until it hit home, until it's one of your family members. Then they be like, yo, these media was right, man. Law enforcement really do need some training and some evaluations about their mental health. Because there's no way you just putting a strap in the badge and there's a random person's hand. If that's the case, hey, let me be one. If you just giving them to random people, like, come on, man. You got to give a person a mental evaluation, man. You got to really make sure a person know what they doing, man. But yeah, like I say, man, I feel like, man, you know, he made a poor choice of judgment, man. And like I say, man, you know, that ultimately, man, what led to him getting fired and getting charged. And I feel like for the first time, I felt like they made a split decision that was right. A lot of times they suspend them for weeks and without pay or this and this, and that's when the riots come, you know. But the fact that they fired them and charged them within 3-4 days, I felt like, you know, it was a smart decision to make, man. It was a smart decision to make. And I'm gonna be honest with you, man, that as civilians, man, whether race, color, gender, we got to start, you know, being a little bit more cautious with how we approach law enforcement, man. You know, and it's sad to think that, yo, Mama K, what's up? It's sad to think that, you know, that's the way that we got to approach law enforcement, but we got to be extra careful, you know. No sudden movement. Keep your hands where it's visible. You know, if you license to carry, let them know approaching the car, hey, I got such and such in here. You know, we can't give them any excuse to do what some of these cops want to do, and unfortunately that's take our lives, you know. So we can't give them the smallest excuse or anything. Like, you gotta absolutely make sure that you dotting your I's and crossing your T's when you're dealing with law enforcement, you know. No matter how frustrating you get, you gotta remember, try to not argue with them, try not make no sudden movement, whether they ask you for license and registration. Hey, I'm reaching for my registration. Hey, I'm reaching for my license. And it's sad that that's what you gotta do, but this is the, you know, this is the world that we live in, you know. It's sad, but it's the truth. This is the world that we live in, man. But I send my condolences out to Sonya, Massey's family. I just feel like, you know, that I just feel that, you know, I feel sorry for her family, and I send my condolences out to them, because the officer, she was sitting on the couch getting the officer her ID. If anybody clear as day can see it. And the officer told her to go turn the pot off because he felt like a fire could start by the pot being on the stove. So you instructed her to go over there, and then you insinuated that you thought she was about to throw it on you. She was sitting on the couch before she went over there. Y'all asked her to go over there. The officer instructed her to go turn the pot off. So how did you feel like she was a threat and you asked her to go over there? Like, that makes zero sense. The officer asked her to turn the pot off. And then when she went over there, he said, I feel like you about to throw it on me. Dude, you asked her to go over there. It wasn't like y'all came in there and she had the pot and she just was coming at y'all with it. Y'all asked her to go over there. Y'all asked her to go over there and turn the pot off the stove, turn the stove off. Y'all asked her to do that. And then unfortunately, that's what happened. That's crazy, man. How do you ask somebody to go over by a pot and turn it off because you scared a fire may happen, and then you do that in return? Come on, man. That's poor training. That's poor training. You asked her to go over there. It wasn't like she just was going over there anywhere. Y'all asked her to go over there, you know? You know, it's sad, though. But yeah, I'm about to go live with another subject in about another 3 minutes. But I appreciate everybody for tapping in. Y'all like, comment, subscribe to the channel. I send my condolences out to Sonya, Massey. And like I'm going to say again, for the people that just tapping in, Springfield, Illinois, 36-year-old woman, Sonya Massey, unfortunately lost her life at the hands of Officer Grayson. He was also fired and charged with it. He's currently locked up right now. But like I say, man, my prayers and condolences go out to her family. A lot of times we've seen situations like this where it turned to a riot and looting. But I'm proud of the decisions that they made by firing him and charging him, because I feel like that stopped a lot of the looting and the rioting. Because we've seen the previous case when they don't make splits and rational decisions and smart decisions, it turned negative. But it's your boy D's Media signing out, man. Peace, positivity, network growth, man. I love y'all so much. Thank y'all.